Dr. Karsanbhai Patel, President of the University, Dr. Anup Singh, Director General, distinguished members of Board of Governors, august members of the Academic Council, trustees, invited guests, deans of faculties, directors of institutes, faculty and staff, graduating students and their parents, the media, ladies and gentlemen, आप सभी को हमारी ओर से ग्रेजुएट होने के संदर्भ में और जिन जिन को मेडल्स मिले हैं उन सारे लोगों को हमारे तरफ से अभिनंदन। I wouldn't want to speak on the general problems that ail education system today or what we want to do today, but I'll talk to you about something more important for all of us, and that concerns the availability of jobs, employment, and how the education system should probably move towards providing meaningful employment to all our graduates who are fortunate to go to colleges and those who are not able to do so. So, in the changing ecospace of education and jobs, we need to create new job opportunities and new job markets for employment in today's world. Quality in colleges is certainly an issue. Many people speak about quality in colleges, the lack of it, and so on. They are important issues, but ultimately when people pass out and come out of the institutes, they have a more serious concern of finding a meaningful job. So I'll talk to you today on what we can do within our universities and colleges to address these larger issues. I've been seeing your university for the past 2-3 hours, and you have, believe me, you have a great campus, a very green campus, and a lot of development has been taking place. I have seen some of the universities in other states, and this should certainly rank as one of the best in those universities. The Financial Express of 1st June of this year reports that India's economic growth remained below the 5% mark for the second year in a row at 4.7% in 13-14, mainly due to a decline in manufacturing and mining output. There are 3 employment sectors. For example, the primary employment sector talks about the job opportunities in agriculture and produce from earth, like mining. World over, it is estimated that 10 to 15% jobs are available in the primary employment sector. Though people say 50% are employed in agriculture, most of those jobs are seasonal. They don't last the entire year. The secondary employment sector is the manufacturing sector, which is dependent on raw material, and therefore, in order that the manufacturing sector thrives, you should have mining output, sufficient mining output, and the manufacturing sector would provide you about 25 to 30% of jobs. And that is important for the GDP growth of a country. As far as tertiary markets are concerned, you have service sectors and they provide 65 to 70% of the jobs. Therefore, most of you will find jobs in service sectors. But in a country as large as ours, unless the manufacturing sector grows, the tertiary sectors don't grow. So therefore, universities like this will need to create that synergy to create output or outcomes that will promote the secondary and the tertiary markets so that employment sector improves. Now the crux of the problem is this: the mining output has gone down, therefore the manufacturing output has gone down. They are complementary to each other and drive many auxiliary markets. India has a large informal sector. Many of the jobs you may find, for example in Larsen & Toubro or Siemens or an Infosys, are all structured jobs and they are all in the formal sector. The India's informal sector, where you will find that construction site several people employed and so on, that is the informal sector, and that is 90% and large enough, and some people even expect it to be larger than that. And we need to see that proper employment procedures are followed for removing the disparity between the formal and the informal sectors. So therefore, we need systems to be put in place where the informal sector comes down from 90% to something that is manageable. Are there sufficient jobs out there at every level to meet the populace at least halfway through? And are these classified is the big question. हमारे पास सही नंबर के जॉब्स अवेलेबल है या नहीं? This is a big question. And we seem to argue endlessly on this and seem to come at no replies, tangible replies. The armchair result that we indulge in on the sagely reporting of more than 80% of the produce as non-employable through various reports of mavens whose job is anyway to hit and run has actually become a cherished pastime. So हमको ये समझना चाहिए कि जॉब्स कितने हैं, फॉर्मल सेक्टर में कितने हैं, इनफॉर्मल में कितने हैं, और इन जॉब अपॉर्चुनिटीज को हम हमारे लिए किस तरह से यूज करें. We have a very good system in place at the center, and for the growth of economy, we need to fast-track projects, be it infrastructural or hotel or e-commerce or whatever. They all produce jobs. Quick and hassle-free environmental clearances and simple tax regimes with single-window clearances with e-governance as the backbone should follow to give you cutting-edge steps that would increase job opportunities. The bureaucratic delays which may occur should be systematically removed. Now, the Business Standard of May 21st reports that top companies added employees at 3% compounded annual growth rate from 2003 to 13-14, which is a 10-year period. While revenues grew at 18% in the last decade, which means revenues have grown not commensurate with the job production or job availability. Estimates peg insufficiencies of 500 million unemployed youth by the year 2020. In this country, we will have at least half of our population below the age of 25 in the next 10 years of time. And we need to provide them sufficient, meaningful job opportunities, and that becomes the essential byword by which colleges, universities, they all have to work to see that those job opportunities are available. We have a population that is growing and might even surpass that of China in the next few years. Therefore, we need to identify priority areas which will be converted to a win-win situation for you and as well as people on the other side. So where do we begin? Technology and education have a massive role in facilitating new job markets. आप में से बहुत सारे बच्चे should try to become entrepreneurs, create your own job markets. Startups should be there, incubation centers should be encouraged, which will see a large job opportunities created. Innovative methodologies and targets set for universities like yours and others, and educational czars to deliver can create opportunities and aid job creation. A lot of funding has been happening in our premier institutions towards research and development. But most of the research happens towards faculty-centric problems. So you do not have productization. This country does not provide products in terms of their research development. Though the research that happens today aids an incremental addition of knowledge to knowledge, will they create jobs is the biggest problem. Thousands of PhDs per annum will need to be promoted, but with mandated research that helps the industry to deliver. All the research that we do should be focused towards the industry requirements, which in turn generates the jobs for us. So a clear mandate for our CSIR, DRDO labs, IITs, and other identified institutions, including universities like this, needs to be innovation that aids in job creation. IPR, patent cells, entrepreneurship cells should be started in institutions like this, and they should be nurtured with a passion. This adds to the research potential as well as it connects with the national agenda. Promotion of niche technology like oil exploration, mining, agriculture, power, water resources, all these need to be developed as we go along. Massive investment is made and probably will be made in the defense sector. This will also be looking at the strategic positioning that India needs to make and to be seen to be counting. Premier institutions, like I said, IITs and so on, and even universities like yours, should play a role here as well. Systems approach can be used. Import substitutions that happen within the defense sector need to be systematically researched and developed so that import substitutions can be manufactured here, and our institutions can use a systems approach, discretize the components, and create the import substitutions that we require. Now in that, we have a means of newer job markets and newer job creations. A nation as large as ours has been growing in bits and pieces. Technology is a great integrator and a force multiplier. A suggestion would be to set up research centers which will create these Fraunhofer-like models based on systems engineering and create import substitutions for us. The entire process has immense potential to create newer job markets, not to speak of savings in foreign currency. And the local capabilities can be used in order that this happens. An egalitarian society where the focus is on social reform, economic upliftment of the downtrodden, and protection of cultural diversity of the natives in India is expected to benefit all. This is possible only when every child in this country gets a meaningful job. India's employment market is characterized by part-timers and seasonal workers, underemployment, and factors that restrict many women from joining the workforce. So while creating these job opportunities, we need to see that women make a big difference. The dogma that bothers the society where skills may find jobs but are not acceptable as an alternate means to good living, since are terminal in nature, skills are terminal in nature, they do not necessarily progress to diplomas and degrees, like somebody getting educated in an ITI. The society does not easily accept those skills as a part of education. With these kind of problems, we need to look at newer paradigms. The National Skill Qualification Framework that the government has created is a great boon for every one of us, and AICTE has created a 7 certificate level program that has a multiple entry exit path, multiple pathways possible, and which allows a diploma and a degree for skills and education together, and probably that is the way forward in future times to come. The mission in this should be to create at least one division of 100 students in every AICTE approved college and school, government or private across the country, and universities like yours can take lead in this process. This will increase GER, gross enrollment ratio. More children will come into education. Entrepreneurship, आप में से बहुत सारे लोग अपने अपने entrepreneurship चला सकते हैं, आपके खुद jobs create कर सकते हैं, and that will aid economy of growth, employment, and therefore GDP and wealth creation of the country. We need to waste no time in exploiting the available opportunities and in fact create newer and innovative ones. We need to not only make a road that allows faster transport, but also make a vehicle that is faster. So जो लोग बनाए हैं उसको यूज करने के बजाय हम खुद नए चीज बनाना चाहिए. Above all, need to remember to strengthen the existing systems. और जो values आपके president ने बात किए हैं, they are all very important, and all of us should believe that value systems in this country need to improve, and you can make a beginning in that. Ethics, morals, values, as they belong to a family system, they need to be addressed within the families and also outside through the education that you have. The government, the universities, the industry, the society, all have the ingredients, all are available today, and therefore I believe all of you should make an attempt to nurture that and see that the value system improves so that your overall living in the society improves. I congratulate all the passing out students and the medal winners and expect each one of them to add to the value proposition in the world outside. The world outside is very complex. Like somebody said, you have to keep running and run very fast even to remain where you are. So that's the level of complexity that we have outside. Opportunities, there are many opportunities. You need to make most of them. You are blessed to be able to be educated in one of the premier institutions. There are many not so privileged outside. आपके दुनिया के बाहर बहुत सारे ऐसे बच्चे हैं जो आप जितना privileged नहीं है. Therefore, you will need to do something for them in terms of your contribution to the society. Success and failure are two sides of the same coin, and one needs to be conscious of the dynamics of the environment. Any activity that brings happiness is to be seen as a part of successful life. आगे जाकर many of you may become very, very successful. Many of you may not become so successful, but that is not the yardstick. If there is happiness that you bring into this society, and if the society makes you happy, that's what is required. Remember, if you give compassion, you get compassion. Play hard and play fair, and values and ethics are important to lead a happy life. Once again, I congratulate all of you and hope that all of you make a small contribution to the society in which you live, and we hope to take back the best of the memories that you have had in your 4 years, 5 years of learning in this university. Thank you.